So first thing we have to remove is the harmonic balancer. And what I do with that is, this has a tendency to drop on the ground. So what I do is I back it off a little bit, and then I wiggle it off of there. So once it comes off of there and it's free, now I can go ahead and support it, and I can go ahead and remove the bolt. Because it never fails. If you remove the bolt and you start hassling with it, it'll drop and fall. And now you could bend this area here. You could ruin it. So that takes care of that.
Does that have timing marks on it, Frank?
Oh, that's important.
Right.
Yes, it does. It has a timing mark right there. And it corresponds with that right there. Okay, good. So, okay. Now this one here is a little different. We're always used to a Whitworth keys. It looks like Toyota puts a little tiny pin in here that goes into this hole for locating it. You have to be very careful when you put this on there that you get it exactly right, because if you don't and you tighten this, you'll push that pin in. And trying to remove that pin is almost impossible. So only I've seen that on the Prius. So. So all the bolts have been taken off of this front cover, and it should come right off of there, which exposes the timing. Now, this gives us an opportunity to look at the, this is the crankshaft position sensor. And right behind here, if you can look, you can see something that has little teeth on it, and that's the reluctor wheel. And that's what is sending the signal up to the computer to let it know that, I guess, the crankshaft is rotating. At the same time, we might as well talk about this now, that right in here is the oil pump. And the oil pump is driven by the crankshaft. And the crankshaft has two flat spots here that just happen to align with this wheel inside here. So when people put this on, I'm going to go ahead and move it right now on purpose, get it out of the way, off of phase here, and I go to install this. It's not going to go in. And I've seen people, you've probably heard friends will tell you, get your bolt started and then work it in. Maybe it's just being stubborn. It's not being stubborn, I tell you. So
you gotta line up the grooves.
You've got to line up. You got to get this thing at about. One thing that we're going to notice about this Toyota engine, what Toyota does, is at top dead center, these marks, even if you don't have a manual, these marks are always going to be straight up and down. Your locating dial here for your harmonic balancer is going to be at 12 o'clock. So they, you know, this is where you put it. Your timing mark's going to be there. So Toyota does this. Number one cylinder, top dead center, with these straight up and down, and your little locating dial at 12 o'clock. You don't need a book to remember that. Normally what I do is I have my students take a picture of this, and that way they have it for a PowerPoint presentation that I have them do. Okay? So,
Really important to point out too, right? We got some O-rings here that go between this and the engine. So if these fall off, we go to assemble it, or we pinch them, right? We'll end up having coolant or oil.
this is oil. This is your oil pickup down here, which goes down into your sump, which we will be seeing soon. It goes in here, excuse me, goes into the pump. The pump pressurizes it and shoots it out through here, which travels through here. later on, we're going to see the little oil gallery that runs along here, up to here. Here it's drilled all the way through, and we'll discuss that later. But this is where your oil pump is, and it's driven off the crank. So every time the engine is running, the oil pump is operating. So it's a really neat system here. All right.